And it says that we're live. Hello, everyone. My name is Kara Brown. I am an urban fantasy author and the owner of Matter After Productions, and I'd like to welcome you to the Boozy Planner-o-rama, which is actually Lisa's incentive, because sometime last year she's like, Kara, I want to get drunk and plan. And I said, sure. And then she made a stream, and I was like, oh, this is happening.
Right. And Carol, you are nice enough to host this on a regular basis so that one of us can be drinking and planning while the other one's hosting and planning.
Well, I'll be drinking and hosting, so we'll have it kind of like somewhere in the middle.
You're more coordinated than I am with these things, so you know how that goes.
Oh, I don't know about that. I was actually happy to host it because I was like, maybe it's my time to get my face on camera again. And like, I don't know, like I was talking to Mara about it, and she sent me like that gif of somebody blowing dust off of something, and I was like, that's kind of what I'm doing. We'll see how it goes.
It is. Well, since this is the Boozy Planner-o-rama, what are you drinking tonight?
Oh, well, as you all know, I am a super refined lady, and I only have the finest of alcohol beverages. So I drove to my local Walmart, and I grabbed myself a bottle barefoot because we keep it classy here. And just so that way I stay on brand for the classiness, I'm going to drink at my Coca-Cola cup.
Very nice. Very nice. This is kind of our low, we had like different, sometimes we do like a nice liquor, sometimes we do a little mixed drinks. I'm also going easy peasy tonight. I have the Mike's Hard Mango, which is my favorite Mike's flavor.
That is some good stuff there.
It is really good stuff.
Yeah.
So I like all the summery flavors.
We're super casual this time around.
Yes. So casual, I almost didn't make it on time because I was just so relaxed today. I was like, oh, holy smokes. Thank goodness for Caro, always planning ahead, knows to remind me. So.
I don't know if I was planning ahead. Somewhere is like panically messaging you going, Lisa.
Are we, is this happening here? So
like, I'll do it solo. I just need to know.
Very nice. Oh my gosh.
Let's take a look and see who we have with us.
I was going to say we have some comments.
We do, yes. So RC is here. Hello, RC. It's always good to see you. Maya is here. Hello. Good to see you as well. Athena is here, ready to do planner stuff. Athena does like her planner stuff. I know she and I have had some good gabs about that. Which reminds me, I need to finish my bujo for this month. So I am very bad, y'all. This year has not been the year of the bullet journal. It has been the year of the Hobonichi, because I had a sneaking suspicion I'd have zero time to do layouts. And you know what? I was absolutely right.
You were right.
I knew it.
So what's the difference with the Hobonichi? I'm not familiar with this particular planning style.
Sure. So usually with the common bullet journal method, you get like a blank book and you basically do whatever layouts you want in there, be weekly, daily, whatever. The Hobonichi is basically already pre-printed. I have not even drank anything. My dyslexia comes from the verbal form. So this is basically just pre-printed and all that other stuff. And it's got like, I'm learning a lot about myself this year because it has like a monthly, a weekly layout, and a daily layout. And I really don't use the monthly layout at all. It just kind of sits there and gathers dust. But I do use the weekly to like track where I spend my time at. And then my dailies turned into like a memory keep. I told myself I would journal every day this year. And sometimes when I'm journaling, I was like, this is either the best idea or the worst idea I've ever had.
You know what? I have this great journal that my mom and I both got like 6 years ago. That is, it's a 1-sentence journal. Every day you just write, like it's one sentence. If you want to write a couple more, fine. But it's just one sentence. And it really kind of makes you sort of distill the best part of your day down to one thing. And it's really cool to go back and look at them. This thing was like a 5-year 1-sentence journal.
Yeah, this is, sometimes I just write bullet points in here, like, or other days I'll be in here and be like, let's reflect on life and, do some introspection. Other days, like, I woke up. Good for me. That's my victory. Yeah. But I'm back and forth on this planner. I really am, because it's just got so much, like, page real estate I don't use. And if you ever met me, I hate not utilizing everything I have. So, like, just eat.
If they're going to cut down that tree, then you want to use it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Let's see. And then Ward is here, and she's saying, oh no, because before we went live, I opened up Amazon because I knew somebody was either going to tell me about a planner, a journal, pens, or highlighters or something. So I just decided to open this up, and immediately Amazon was like, "So you want stationery, right?" And I was like, "No." Stop knowing me.
It's like it listens to what you're saying or thinking. I also do not. Look at that, my pristine monthly chart. Right? I also don't, but I like having it because I like to be able to go like, oh, that's a Tuesday. Mm-hmm. So I do actually like the monthly thing, but I really much prefer the whole, like, look, I like my little April at a glance, which I have to do for May. And I love all my dailies.
I actually, hold on. Let's see if I can reach it from here. I can. Oh, this is nice. Is that it, though?
I love having the printer in my office because somebody just decided to print something. And I'm sure that all of a sudden it's like, and I'm sure that they'll be in to retrieve it in any minute. So that'll be fun. Surprise guest tonight on the show.
Oh, my. Yeah. So my 2021 has been horribly interesting in all the ways that belong in a soap opera. But last month I was like, you know what? Let's just go ahead and plan 2022's bullet journal. Like, I was only in April and I was already done with the year.
This is why you are really Caro. I mean, this is just like, that's like so awesome.
Yeah. But so like I already went and got like next year all set up and it's just sitting here. It's just waiting. This is my reward for making it through the year. But the one thing that I did do in it is instead of actually having like the monthlies like that, I just made like the year at a glance thing. I did
that's
that.
Nice. That's good. Yeah, that's helpful.
So that's what I did. So.
Mine was already in there, so that's good though. I really feel like I need that because sometimes I need to know like what day of the week the month is ending on or beginning or.
Yeah, helps you track birthdays and know when to do stuff. Let's see. Mia is asking, is asking if I'm in Florida now. I am in fact in Florida. As you can tell from my changed setting, this is not my. It's been a journey. I think when the journey is over, I'll make a video and I'll talk about it. But when I say it belongs in like a Spanish soap opera, I'm really not kidding.
No, you really aren't. I moved 7 times in 9 years, and I thought I had seen everything when it came to moving. And now my story seems so quaint and adorable next to yours. So I think it's going to be exciting. I want to make sure that you're releasing that video during like sweeps week, so that because that's going to be like the big drama, the big excitement.
Yeah, the big reason that we have to, drink like a whole bottle of barefoot. It's been fun. Yeah. Fun. Ava is here. Hello, Ava. It's good to see you. Let's see. Hello. You are a hobo snob.
Hobo snob.
No, I don't need to drink more at all. I'm not going to lie. I think the last time I actually hanged out with Lisa, it was like when we were off camera and I came in with like the bottle of whiskey and she's like, that bad? And I was like, oh yeah.
I think it was like the first time I've seen you like buzz.
Really? Yeah. I was just kind of like, hey, this is me and all my truth serum. Let's go.
It was good though.
Yeah. Let's see. Jennifer is like, it's awesome having you back and streaming with us. Baby steps, yo. Baby steps. I was like, I can stream and organize. These are my safe places. Okay, we'll do that. Yep. Marty's here. Hello, it's good to see you in the little kitty avatar. Stephanie is also here.
Hello.
Hello. It's good to see you. Or she's making dinner. Joke's on you. I already ate. You can't make me more hungry.
I did not eat because I did not have my life together today at 7:50 p.m. when Caro's like, hello.
And Amy's here. Hello, Amy.
Hello, Amy.
She's saying, you put nobody in particular again. You are awesome body. I will never forget this. But yeah, So, Lisa, what are you getting done this month?
Well, speaking of Amy Awesome Buddy, I know, right? We've been working on my website. I I told her ahead of time, like, I'm trying to finish a book. I've got 8 million things going on, so it's going to be slow progress, but we are in fact making forward progress. So that I'm going to try to make some notes on the stuff that she did, and finish the book. Like June is when I'd like to be done with it, when I'm on track to be done with it. So that's good. And then I had a bunch of other stuff. I had a bunch of goals this year. I just got rights back to 2 of my books, which is awesome. I know I'm super excited, but also it was like a surprise because we'd asked for it last year and it takes forever. Like the traditional publishing is very much kind of a quill and ink sort of business, and nothing like they have to ask Ebenezer down in the basement before anything can happen.
He doesn't even know who you are or what year it is because he doesn't go outside.
Exactly. He's just got his big ledger, right? So we'd asked last year for my rights back, and it takes kind of a while, and this is something that happens like every year. I'm always like, can I have them back? Can I have them back? Can I have them back? And so this year we asked, and my agent messages me back, and she said, oh my gosh, they apparently forgot to send us a letter and notify us. So we had them back. But instead of finding out, oh, you're going to get them back and it's going to take 2 months for the lawyers to send you a letter, they already had the letter ready because they just forgot to send it. So now I feel like I'm behind the 8 ball, even though it's something I've only known about for like a week and a half or 2 weeks. So
I think you're fine though.
So I'm going to try to get my crap together around that.
I have a timer on my phone for when I get the rights to Queen and Swords and Silence back, because I don't want to publish another book until I get that one back. So
you can still be writing away though, stockpiling.
Yeah, I was during Lisa's last Wednesday. Was I on your stream last Wednesday? I was.
Yes.
I was trying to build my tolerance for being on streams back up. So I was like, I'll be on Lisa's and then I'll be on Tamara's. But like during yours, I was actually working on. I'm coming back because I start pulling out like 8 different planners. I started working on my author planner, and I was looking at the next book in the series, and I was like, I've only got 40,000 words of this written. Only.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So just small steps.
What do you? So I will be working on getting my May in order, which I normally like to do before the month starts. But since I knew we were doing the Boozy Planner-o-rama today, instead of our usual last weekend of the month, I decided to hold off. So I'm going to be figuring out some sort of a timeline for getting stuff done with the books that I have back. Yay! Mm-hmm. I am going to be trying to figure out where I can crowbar in website stuff, because even though I can't like take it all on at once, I do want to continue making forward progress, and also continuing to work on Goodreads and my book that I will be finishing by the end of June.
Yeah, my goals are a little bit more fundamental, because last year I was just crazy busy, like all the time, like just
all the time.
Yeah, and so not being crazy busy has been weird for me. So kind of what I'm doing is like slowly easing myself back into like that regular productivity. So, and I mean like baby steps, like small steps, like make coffee. Okay, I can do that. Write 100 words, like it's just got to do that slow build up to it. But I'm also trying to find a job out here, which is difficult because I'm in a military town, and the only time jobs open up is when the military folks are allowed to change duty stations. Mm-hmm. And because of that wonderful thing called the COVID, nobody's going anywhere. So
right.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to get you like a remote thing so that you will not have to leave your house.
That would be great. I'm definitely working on that. But until then, it's just basically I apply to like one job every weekday, and then I try to get like 3 things done: one house thing, one writer thing, one some other thing. So
that's very for somebody who's like, oh, I'm not doing very much right now. That's still very productive, and also like it takes so much energy, like so much emotional juice to look for a job. Like it really is. Yeah. So, yeah.
I have to answer a really important question. Hold on.
Okay.
Jeannie's asking if it's chilled or room temp. I actually have sensitive teeth, so everything I drink is room temp.
I had no. See, that's like a little special treat for everybody who's here tonight. I had no idea.
You were gonna say something? Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy that you're gonna get your rights back.
Yay! Thank you very much.
I know for like the non-author people are like, is that a big deal? And we're like, yeah, that's a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Well, also because it gives me, so the book that I currently have, I'm kind of on the fence and I feel a little bit like I'm cheating on my boyfriend / girlfriend / whatever, because / agent, because here's the deal, right? I've been telling my agent, okay, I'm almost done with this book. Hey, Tamara, I'm almost done with this book. I'm so excited. But, oh my God, did I miss another writing workshop? Jesus. Caro, thank God you're back. Okay.
I didn't even do anything.
Tamara, no, I'm just saying, like, how I'm apparently not functioning this month. Tamara, I'm very sorry if I missed it. Did I miss it? Did we have it? It would have been a week ago.
Yeah, because I was supposed to be there too, but my dad called me and said, I need you to perform your daughter duties, which is cleaning up the yard for me. So I was over there doing that.
I have no excuse at all. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I'll be better next month, I promise. I'm going to put it in my planner right now. That's my problem. Yeah. Here it goes.
Quick, Tamara, when's the next stream? You should say it in the comment section.
Yes, you should. All right, hold on. I'm coming. Here we go. Dun, dun, dun.
Part of the reason I wanted to move these to Sundays because her thing usually like happens like 2 hours before ours does, and then you and I are kind of like really tired.
Right. Yeah. So it's going to be Saturday the 29th of May, I assume. Wait, is that Memorial Day weekend?
It could be.
I think it is.
Here we go. There we go.
All right. What'd she say? May 29th, 9 p.m. Eastern. Well, it's a good thing we switched.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 9 p.m. Eastern Writers Workshop. Okay. Be there, be square, y'all. It is. All right. There we go. And we'll have to head right over to Tamara's channel to find out what the book is this month.
We do. I know what it is, but I want you guys to go to her thing instead.
Yeah. I'm not even going to ask. I'm just going to go right over. Okay. I'm very sorry, Tamara. Okay.
One thing that we got written down. Good job.
I know, right? I planned it already. I need to find an appropriate sticker. So I'm going to do that now. Oh, my gosh.
So, Jennifer, this is a common misconception that everybody has that I'm a self-published author. Faye Black is self-published, but Kara Brown actually is traditionally published. Usually everybody thinks that I'm self-published because I just happen to be on author too.
Is that a thing? Only self-published authors are on AuthorTube? That's not right.
That's why when you came out, and I was kind of like, hey, there's only like 2 of you in this community.
But you should be saying there are only 2 of us.
No, there is. You're right. No, technically 3 if we count. I can't remember her name. Tamara, you know who I'm talking about. It's the other...
Alexa Dunn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen her face in a year. I'm sorry.
No, it's totally fine. All right, look, Tamara, you're getting a flamingo sticker. Hold on. How cute is that?
I can already hear like, oh, I love flamingo stickers.
Okay. If I have any hibiscus, that you get that too. Because that's how much I love you. Oh, I don't have hibiscus, but I have a coconut drink. I feel like that's something also.
Have you met? No, I have not met them yet. Do you recommend?
Oh, all right, we'll have to try that out.
All right. Alexa knew. See, look, I called it. It's like I know her.
Yeah, you do. All right, you get a coconut drink. We're all about the tropical. Okay. Yay! Super exciting.
Can you remind me when your stream is on Wednesdays? I'm kind of.
Can I remind you? Why, sure, Caro. My stream is on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern time, and you'll know it's coming up because you'll be there. It's every week, and we do writing sprints. So, yay. And Story Detective is there, and we've had Sakatumi there lately. Savvy comes sometimes. Doll comes sometimes. It's just a regular party.
Yep.
Okay. So, I was telling a story about cheating on my agent, or feeling like I'm cheating on my agent. Okay. So I've been telling her, hey, I'm about to finish this book. She's like the most patient person in the universe. And she's like, great, I want to see pages. I'm excited about this, blah, blah, blah. But secretly, it's just between us, you guys. I'm sort of, I know, just me and our friends here and the internet. And that's it. Nobody tell.
The only way to keep a secret is you don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
You know that, right? Okay, cool.
It's not that. Here's the thing. I'm really considering, I've never indie published a novel. I'm kind of thinking I might like to try it. And so I'm using the fact that I've gotten my rights back on my first novel as like a test case on whether or not I actually would be interested in doing that, or whether or not I'll traditionally publish. I'm not sure. I'm feeling some doubt now.
You should do it. I encourage you.
Yeah. Would you go wide or stick with Kindle?
I would go wide at this point, just because of the way that not just Kindle, but just Amazon in general is treating self-published authors. So like mini history lesson for the folks in the comment section is that initially when the Kindle came out, it really catered towards the independent authors. So like the guys and gals that came out like in the early like 2008, like they were making some bank. Okay. Like one of my friends basically like quit his job because he was making double his salary with like his book releases, because he had like 29 books out, right? So they were yeah.
I'll be 80 before I have 29 books out.
I might have
81.
Well, he's a fast drafter too. But and then in 2008 during the Great Recession, Amazon cut a deal with the big six at the time. Now it's the big five. Publishing houses, because what was happening is that the indie authors were basically making more money than the traditional publishing houses, and they got kind of upset because you know how that goes. So pretty much what happens at this point is that when you do your keyword search in Amazon, what they do is they always make sure that the first 10 results are from the traditional publishers, and then they have the indies after that.
Which is so crazy if you think about it, because back in the day, the traditional publishers did everything they could to kill Amazon. I mean, they did everything, and they still, a lot of them have kind of a little chip on their shoulders, or a big one, about Amazon. I mean, it's like now it's such a big, important bookstore that they have to be nice to it. They have to pay homage. But before, they were like, it was all Barnes & Noble, and and Amazon's just one bookstore and all that, and then they got their butts kicked. But the other thing too is that Amazon, they were killing it by releasing traditionally published books at way below they were just eating the cost. They were using them as a loss leader. And traditional publishing actually got together and did a little price fixing, which they got in big trouble with the Justice Department. There was like a whole thing with Apple and all the booksellers. And if you've ever seen a traditional publishing book contract, they all talk to each other because they're all the same.
And they're all, technically, if you follow like that entire like franchise chain, it all belongs to one company in Germany.
I don't doubt it. Well, you said the big five, but I feel like, it's 8:00 on a Sunday night, and I'm drinking already, so I don't remember. But didn't somebody just buy somebody else? It's the big four now, I think.
Is it? That doesn't surprise me.
Well, I feel like it was like in the middle of your moving like craziness. I'm gonna just look this up.
See, it's my fault that I don't know about these things, because like normally Tamara and I, because we do AuthorTube news, so we usually keep on top of those things. But
right.
She did, not to talk about your business, Tamara, but Tamara did her own cross-country move from Hawaii to West Virginia, and then I did my move from Arizona to Florida. And I'm very proud that we at least do like a weekly check-in to be like, yo, you alive? Like, yeah, I'm alive. How about you? It's like, I'm hanging in there. Okay, cool.
So yes, Simon & Schuster was bought by Penguin, which also bought Random House. So we went from Big 6 to Big 5 when Penguin bought Random House, and now to Big 4 when Penguin Random House has bought Simon & Schuster.
Oh, that's terrible.
This happened in November. Yeah. And
oh my goodness.
Obviously people are not happy about that.
That's intense. Okay, cool. I think I just need to have another drink now.
All right, I'll do that. Yay, to publishing.
Yeah, but in regards to going wide or going with Amazon, I just go wide right now just because of the way that Amazon's just treating independent authors right now.
Well, this is the thing about. Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
Go on.
I was just going to say this is the problem with anything. This is the problem with putting all of your eggs in one basket.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want to have all of your money coming from one source.
Absolutely not.
And for everybody I know who has gone wide, sure, Amazon is still made. That's funny. It'd be funnier like this. Amazon is still going to be a major player, and they are still a major bookstore, but you shouldn't get every single nickel you make from Amazon.
No, I agree with that, especially when they decide to change certain things on their website that always drastically impact your sales.
That's it. Well, in all of these companies where, there's a major algorithm involved, it's always constantly changing. So once you figure it out, you got to do it again and again and again. So, yeah.
I like Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown's kind of like, wait, did you use the bottle in the fridge? I'm like, yeah, this is the apple. They have one in watermelon. I don't get paid to talk about these bottles at all. Y'all should pay me because I would talk up these bottles.
Surely there's a deal to be made.
So let's take a look. Somebody asked me a question. Let's see. What is your opinion on going draft to digital? I have not actually looked at that enough to have an opinion on it right now.
No idea.
So, yeah. Well,
I'll be doing some research though.
I was about to say I have a planner. I'll probably just look up draft to digital. I'll do it tomorrow. We're both writing it down. I love this. But I will get back to you that. Miss Brown, no relation to myself. Let's see. Dega's here. Oh, Dega, it's good to see you.
Dega Outlaw, hello.
Tamara's like, I remember those days. We should try that again someday. We should at some point. I probably need to get my setup in here finalized because it's always changing if anybody studies my background enough. Let's see.
Just working on it.
Jeannie says that she does like draft to digital, so I guess it's worth looking into because Jeannie is a much more experienced author than I am. So, all right, cool. So we talked about what we're going to be trying to get done in May. What else is going on? There's something going on this month in AuthorTube. Comment section. I bet you guys know. You know what's going on.
They know everything.
I've lifted the rock under my hole up, and I'm finally looking around, wondering if it's safe to come out. Let's see. I was planning on using draft to digital for faith disabled. That's why I'm asking. Oh, here we go. You see, I knew somebody would know. There's
Promptathon.
What is that? I have no idea what that is.
I'm guessing writing prompt every day. JC, hello.
JC? Yeah, the only thing I want to do every day is write, run, and write and run. There you go. And apply to jobs. There you go.
Yay.
Keeping it pretty basic over here. Let's see. I think it's on Melina's channel tonight. It was on Sam Wicker's last night. Every day in May, different times and channels get prompt for in 20 minutes to submit a story. Oh, that's cool.
That's kind of interesting.
That's good if you're out of the habit of writing, like some people who might be on the screen. I don't know who that would be, though. I mean, just...
Don't point that at me.
I was pointing at me.
Good.
I had it at my face.
That's good. I'm glad. Yeah, well, first of all, I think like, okay, if I'm going to spend time writing every day, I need to be working on my book. So there's that. But I do think it's good, especially if you're between projects, to kind of, get everything going and flowing.
Well, how'd your Camp Nano go? How did everybody's Camp Nano go? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. How did everybody's how did your Camp Nano go?
Well, I told myself I was going to work on the series Bible, and I did work on it, and it's just kind of sitting there, and it looks at me with judgment, and I kind of save and close it, and I'll look at it later, because that's what you do, right?
That is good. So I was supportive of Camp Nano, but I did not actually participate. But I was already writing every day until I got sick. And then I have been a slacker pretty much.
You don't slack.
I do a little bit.
No, you're still super mom over there, because when you're not working on your author and promotional stuff, you're working on the family stuff, and that's its own side job.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's true. I don't. Although I did read a lot in the last. I've been reading a lot in the last couple of weeks, so that's good. Because when I didn't feel well, I didn't really want to. I just felt yucky, but I also kind of just stayed in bed and read, and that was really nice. So it's good, and I think sometimes it's really helpful creatively to just have periods where you're not working.
Yeah, because that's what you did last December, right? You just took that whole month off.
I did, and it was hugely helpful. It got me really excited about writing, because I was like, oh, I'm just not going to work, and I'm actually going to take off the month. Well, I think probably the end of July and the very beginning of August, but I'm taking off a month in the summer, just for my brain. But I'm going to, and I'm not going to do it until July, because I want to make sure if I need a little, an extra week or so to finish the book, that I can have that. But I'll be really, I should be good. I should have enough time to write it and edit and clean it up and make it all pretty for my agent.
I know when I was, because I really am serious about trying to get my life back on track, or at least moving some forward motion, right? Mm-hmm, whether it be author, career, whatever. Mm-hmm. And so when I was looking at the Hobonichi, me in panic mode last year had decided I was going to plan all sorts of stuff. All kinds of things, I was apparently going to write a book every month.
I feel like I remember something about that.
Yeah.
So how's that going?
Oh, it's not. It's not. It was a great work of fiction by itself.
Ah, there you go. So check that off. One done. I know that there's no way that I would ever be able to write a book a month. But I feel like if I really got back into the habit of it, which I have been. I've been writing, with the exception of the last couple of weeks, I've been writing pretty much every day. And as long as I continue to do that, I'll be back on the pace that I used to be. Because I feel like, everybody in my household will have their shots in in another week. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like I can kind of go back out into the world a teeny bit, even though I'll be masked. I'll be out in the world a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I feel hopeful now that I will not be stuck in my house forever. And that has made a big difference. Mm. You?
Yeah. I've thought a lot about writing. I thought about it a lot. Yeah. It's more brainstorming stuff more than anything else, but I haven't really, I finished Karo's Tarot in last November, and I've every day I kind of do edit that just a little bit, but the difference between that and basically everything else that I'm supposed to work on is it's not really depends on who you ask. It's not fiction writing. It's more reference based, and I can look at historical items and other references to kind of quote from. So it's a little bit easier writing in that front, but actual fictional writing where I have to submerge myself into another character's psyche. I'm I can't do that. I can even submerge myself in my psyche right now.
Yeah. I feel that. And I believe it is easier to write, a lot easier. I think it is easier to write nonfiction than fiction. Having done both.
Yeah.
Nonfiction is a lot easier. And also the bar for good writing is lower.
But you're not wrong.
No, it's not. And I don't mean that I can just write crap and put it out. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying the bar is lower for nonfiction, because a lot of times experts in a particular topic are not necessarily writers. And so even though you obviously want to do a good job with any book that you do, it is kind of nice to have some of the pressure off.
It
Does
is,
that make sense?
Yeah, it's slightly lower stress. I need to buy a simple Buju to have fun with planning. Well, I could totally recommend this book right here. I don't know what it's called. I'll look it up in a second, but I read, oh, hey, here we go. Got the name right here for you.
Where do you find all this stuff? Okay, so
Amazon.
Tumbitri Mari, is that what it's called?
Murray, yeah.
Murray.
Yeah, or Mary. Somebody can probably pronounce it better in the comment section.
Probably.
I like this one though, just because it's like twice as thick as like a regular. It doesn't look like it because I did Dutch doors on it. But it's got like double the page volume. So when I had to like actually plan my whole next year, I was like, I need more than 215 pages. I need like 400 something. So that was where I went.
That's a big year.
I like to break it up by weeks. So I need like at least 56 pages and then another whatever pages for journaling and stuff like that. So
that is, yeah, I also like to break it up by weeks. All right, what do we got here?
I'm like going through my Amazon so I can link if anybody wants it.
Oh,
if Amazon will let me link it, because I tried to link stuff in Tamara's stream and YouTube was like, no, you can't link anything, moderator.
Really?
Yeah, it came at me, kept deleting my stuff. So here's the test, guys. Let's see if this works. If you would like to look at that planner, that is this one right here.
Oh, that's not good.
Let's see. And then just to verbally say hello to Aphrodite. Hello, Aphrodite. It's good to see you.
Hello.
Let's see, RC. I think I already know what I did for Camp Nano. Well, you were there, right, RC? Like, you should know. It's come and gone. Let's see. Goes to impulsively buy some stationery stuff on Amazon. I literally pulled up Amazon before we started. It was already recommending stationery stuff to me. And I was like, we're not even talking about pens or books yet. And you're already like enabling me. Like, somebody help me.
Right.
I'm allergic to planning and productivity. No, you're not, Adega. Stop that.
Just here for the booze, huh? I'm kidding. Jennifer. Oh my gosh. That is okay. Good. Look at you.
Oh, hey, check you out,
Yay. Sis. What's it called? It's not a plug if you don't tell us the title. Bring it on. Let's hear it.
Yeah, what's the title? Yeah, tell us. Planners. I don't want to hear from you. Don't want to hear from you, RC. I know you have one. I know you have one.
All right.
Oh, okay, let's see. Let's see. We have such a nice grouping here tonight. I like all of you guys for coming and hanging out with us. Thank you. Let's see. Aphrodite says I use composition books for one a month. So you must go through like, girl.
Wow.
That's like, okay. I have a question. Do you keep them all after you're done then? Like for future reference, or do you like check them after like a year? Like,
or for the museum.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Here we go. Here's the title. Faith Disabled. It's coming out on October 10th, 2021.
Very nice. Congratulations.
When you get a pre-order for that, let us know. And that way we can kind of like spread it throughout our little circles. Aphrodite, I do keep them. I'm a crazy person. You're only crazy if it's decided by court.
Is that true? Is that the official designation?
Well, you either have to have it like officially diagnosed by somebody with an MD, or you have to have the judge basically pass that after reviewing evidence. So, and that usually involves like you getting in trouble with the law. Nobody wants that.
No.
Nope. So what else do we have going on? Is Robert doing word stock? No, he's in the middle of a move.
He is in the middle of a move.
Why are we all moving in the middle of a pandemic? That's my question.
I don't know. It feels a little bit like, insane. But sometimes you just have to move. Sometimes it's time. You got to get out the door and you got to move. So, and I think they've been planning this for a long time. So I think they're excited. I think it's kind of awesome.
I know that's something that they want to do. We all have very bad timing.
True.
I think when Tamara... Oh, go on.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, no, I was just going to say, like, it feels like at the very beginning of 2020, like, didn't we have a lot of author tubers who were suddenly selling their houses and moving? Tamara had a massive move.
Yeah, but Tamara moved, and then I moved, and I was like, I love having things in common with you, but like bad moving experiences, no, I don't think we should have that in common at all.
No. But then, like, didn't BC Brown sold her house?
She sold. I think she was in an apartment, and she moved to a house, and then Dal moved, and then
somebody else. I can't. Laura. I'm not going to be able to remember what it is. Lauren.
Did Savvy move? Savvy didn't move, did she?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, in the comment section, who moved? Tell us.
Yeah, right?
Yes, there is, in fact, a canine companion chewing on a bone right over here. That's that clicking sound that you hear. And I'd rather he chew on that, because if he's not chewing on that, he's going to chew on his paw. So I appreciate you guys putting up with that sound in the background.
It just sounds like your house.
It sounds like I own dogs. Yeah. Let's see. JC has prices go down. Good time to move price wise. Also, apparently plane tickets are super cheap right now. Yeah, so is that. Don't get me started on this aircraft thing, because like when I came last December to come visit my dad, they made us do social distancing in the airport, which I was like, okay, cool, social distancing, whatever. But they didn't have a social distance on the aircraft, so I was like, what are we doing? Like, what is? So this?
Everybody's 6 feet apart until you get on the plane, and then you're all crammed together like little sardines.
Yeah. Oh. And then I had one woman call a whole bunch of other women in the bathroom hookers because they wouldn't stay 6 feet from her, and I was like.
And hooker, that was the first word that came to mind.
That's what she thought. And of course, what was really bad is I left, and as I walked out, there looked like this like poor kind of like beaten man standing there with like holding 2 suitcases, and I was like, I bet that's her husband.
That could be it. That sounds about right.
Amber Craft also moves. That's 6. That's 6 people that we know
that moved. Yes, there was a lot of it. Yeah. On one hand, I could see like people are moving in where we live. People are moving in like crazy. Just Florida, right? A lot of people moving to Florida. And on one hand, I go, okay, I could also see Aphrodite move too.
7.
But I could see wanting to move after being like, if you've been stuck in your house for a year, I could see just like wanting to like go somewhere else. Adega moved 2 months ago. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, why are we all moving? RK did relocate, maybe. So maybe. Okay. So we all just decided to Sky moved now, so that's like 9. Why are we all moving, yo?
I don't know. I feel kind of uncool now. Maybe I should go look for a house.
I don't know.
I'm not moving. I haven't even finished unpacking. I moved like 3 years ago, and I still have those boxes in the garage. You know, the last dregs of boxes. I should just donate them all or burn them in the driveway or something, because if I haven't needed them in 3 years, do I really need them?
I mean, no, because that's a good point. Because if you don't need what's inside of there, do you need it at all? Like, we have one box left in the living room. Otherwise, I'm officially unpacked.
You're my hero. You're my hero.
Well, I didn't even wait. So, like, long story short, I moved in January. I didn't get my stuff until, like, late March, guys. Like, it was me in an empty house. Like, at one point, I was invited to come into live streams. And I was like, I don't have a camera. I don't have a mic. I don't have anything.
What did you do during that time? Besides like curse the heavens?
I had my gaming PC.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I had my gaming PC, so I played way too much of my favorite game because I couldn't even look for a job because y'all can judge me and it's fine. Go ahead and leave your comments in the comment section. But like,
we're gonna judge you.
We assumed that we would get our stuff in 3 days because that's when the mover said that we were going to get our stuff. So like all my paperwork to change residency was in the van. Yeah,
that's rough.
Yeah,
that's rough.
So, and when you change residence, you need like 3 forms of ID in this part of Florida. So I only had 2 forms because I thought that's all I was going to need, and they're like, no, you need 3. So I couldn't even be a resident of Florida until all my stuff showed up.
That's okay. You probably don't want to. You've seen what we do here. It's kind of insane.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just the downside is that you can't really apply for jobs until you become a resident of Florida for some of the places that I want. So like, I couldn't look for work. I couldn't do anything. It was just, it was me playing my video game, hanging out with my dad, walking around the empty house. I did have to take care of the dogs a lot because if it wasn't like some debacle with the move or the house, it was something going on with the dogs. So like my vets know me by my phone number now. That's how often I've gone there.
That's not good. Well, the good news is now that you've gotten them all sorted out, you probably won't have to go back for until it's time for shots next year. We hope.
I hope not. Yeah.
We hope.
Because so the first thing that happened is we had to go get Bones his meds because he's on like some psych meds because he's got anxiety. So we had to go do that. And then one day, Mr. Brown and I were in the house. So Ranger and Bones got into like a really bad fight. Like really bad, like ER visit kind of bad. Yeah.
Oh.
So I spent 2 weeks basically taking care of Ranger and making sure that the 2 weren't alone, unsupervised with each other because I didn't know what was going to happen. And so right after Ranger gets better, right? I learned about one of the great things that comes with Florida, which are fleas.
Oh, yes. Welcome to Florida.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So once we get that resolved and then I'm like, okay, nothing else can happen. The dogs are still like super irritated. Come to find out that if you're a dog and you don't deal with fleas on a daily basis, you have an allergic reaction to flea saliva. So I had to take all the dogs back.
I'm sorry to hear that. We have had we don't have a flea thing with Odin because he's medicated for it. And also he's mostly an indoor dog, and he's smaller, so there's less overall area for fleas to jump on him. Mm-hmm. But he's getting to be an older guy, and he has a belly full of tumors, and they don't know if they're benign or not. But if they do biopsies, they'll most likely rupture them, which is bad. So we're in a position, but he's not in pain. He just has a little bleeding issue. Like if he were a girl dog.
Lisa, that all sounds terrible.
I know. If he were a girl dog, he would be PMSing 24 hours a day. But he's a boy dog. So he's like bleed. It's not a lot, it's just a little bit. But we had to figure out what are we going to do about this, because it's just drip drip everywhere. And so he's not in pain. They gave us all this Chinese cancer medicine, like Chinese medicine, so herbal supplements, which actually has been the most effective. Like I said, he's not in pain, he's okay, but they're like, well, yeah, this is going to happen. And so we were like, what are we going to do about this? And so we have these little dog belt diaper things now. He looks, and we're like, well, he's very manly, so we can't, because his name's Odin, right? You can't have him wearing a diaper because that would just be bad. So they're the horror geek is calling him his weight belts or his karate.
I like how you're trying to preserve your dog's dignity by calling it a weight belt.
A weight belt. He's very manly, so he's got the weight belt on a regular basis every day. Yeah, I know. It's terrible. I don't know what else to do though. The vet's we can't really do anything. This is it.
You should put some kind of planned self-care into this coming month. We should all do that.
We should.
We should.
I'm gonna write that down on my priority list for this month.
Ava says that you should give him a cape, so it's a superhero outfit.
Right? Then he'll have the right, and I could make like an O on the front of the belt. That might be a step too far. But you know what? I probably have a cape for the dog somewhere in the Halloween costumes. Yeah. Might be time to bring that out. And Granny Janny's here, so she could make him a little cape. Who wants to take a vote on what color Odin's superhero cape should be?
You should do that. Everybody, pick a color. It's okay. There's no wrong answers here.
All right.
Unless you want to give them options, that way you can narrow it down.
Right, that's true. That's true. He could be like the world's first fashionable dog superhero. Does he like to change his cape out every day? I do have a little bow tie for him. So this is not out of character for him to, change out his cape colors.
I think at one point somebody gave me like a unicorn horn. Don't ask me why. They gave me a unicorn horn. And I would put it on Ranger and take pictures of him. He was not amused with my antics, just to say.
No. We had Odin be a pizza one year for Halloween, so it's like this collar thing that's like a pizza with his little head on top.
That sounds absolutely adorable, and I want it.
It was pretty cute.
All right, let's take a look. So we got pink, we got blue, we got red, we got blue. 2 for blue.
2 for blue.
1 orange. Okay. Ava got to come in with the silver. Okay.
Wait, no, look what Ava said. Yes. Winner. All right. Oh, I like the silver, though. The silver is nice, too. That's very superhero-y.
We got 3 for blue.
3 for blue. I love blue. You guys know that. Also on brand. Blue. Cobalt blue.
It's still blue. Okay.
It's specific, though. I appreciate that. There are many colors of blue.
There are. Many shades.
Yeah. Yes. Aphrodite really likes silver.
What about blue with silver?
I think that could be it.
Yeah, then it could be extra fancy.
I think that could be a thing. We're going to have to get right on that. He needs a Thor cape. You can buy the print fabric.
Ava, you already voted.
No more blue been done. Yeah.
Okay, well.
Silver trim.
Somebody else is back in silver trim.
Maybe we'll do silver with blue trim. Blue is I agree, JC. I'm totally on board with that.
As you might have, it's like purple with silver. I do like the color purple.
Yeah, purple's awesome. I have a lot of good choices here. We'll have to make him a cape, and then we'll do the reveal. Yeah. I'm excited.
You should do that like on Instagram. There you go. You can part of your
brand. I know, right?
Here's another blue, but it's a different shade. So you got cobalt and you got dark blue to choose from.
Dark blue, right. Those are different colors of blue. So, ooh, purple. How about an entire wardrobe? He's a very patient dog, so he might do it. He's really good with with his weight belt / superhero belt. He just kind of waits for us to put it on.
So Ava's paying attention to when she says real. I did not mean to do that. I'm sorry.
Did we switch?
On accident.
Like if we put on some music, we could do like a little dance.
A little musical chair? Yeah.
I'm trying to flip back and forth and write my purpose back in May, but I'm taking it from April because it never changes.
Everything changes. That's why we plan one bit at a time.
But my purpose never changes.
No.
Well, at least not for the year.
Not the objective, just how we get there.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. What we should have talked about that we didn't get to talk about one of your streams was the effect of serotonin on the author brain.
Right.
And it's just you and me, the 2 psych majors.
I know. Let's talk serotonin. Yeah. I can't even remember how we started talking about this. Oh, creativity. Serotonin creativity?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'd read an article about whether I read an article, I think in The Guardian, about whether creativity is something that can be taught or whether it's genetic. And it turns out that we can learn to be more creative, but that major components of creativity are in fact genetic. We literally have different kinds of brains than normals. So, right? So there's that. But part of the juice that makes the creative brain go is serotonin. And there was some really interesting distinctions about how people who have bipolar tend to be really, oh my God. That's funny. Okay, so people who are bipolar actually tend to have to be really creative, which is not a shock because there are a lot of like really famous writers, artists who are bipolar, and so when they're having their manic phases, they have all this serotonin and all this energy and juice, and they're creating, and then these lows. And people who don't have that big, up and down, they don't have that in the same way. But serotonin is the sort of magical ingredient to creativity. And there are lots of ways. So if you're depressed, that's often a result of low serotonin. But there are lots of ways that you can actually do things to increase your serotonin naturally, not pill related.
Yeah, I mean, so there's lots of different ways that serotonin gets affected, and some of it's by environment, some of it's by situational. So when I was going through my education degree, I did a research paper on Sir Ken Robinson, and Sir Ken Robinson, he's called Sir Ken because he's knighted over in England, but his entire premise on a lot of his academic research and his reporting has to actually do with how schools will kill creativity in children. Because what they do is they restrict their ability to have options because we're trying to funnel them towards like the objective, right?
Yes.
So I used to do reports and cite him, and naturally colleges don't like that because they don't like being told that the way that they try to teach people is wrong. But if you also think about it, if you look at children like anywhere between the ages of like actually probably 6 months. Starts at 6 months and can go all the way up until whenever. Children naturally do scientific thinking. And what I mean by scientific thinking is that when we decide that we're trying to prove X, Y, or Z, we'll go through like multiple testing methods.
Right. We create a hypothesis and then we test our hypothesis.
Right. And of course, like when you're 6 months old, you don't really have a lot of options. You have touch and you have taste. So what do we usually do?
Right. Yeah.
Right. We're trying to figure out what it is. And so when kids want to do something, they'll find all sorts of ways to make it happen. And the best way to see a kid creatively do something is to take the cookie jar and put it somewhere they can't get to. Watch them get to that cookie jar. They'll do it.
It's so funny that you say that because remember the Freakonomics guys, Stephen Dubner, and I can never remember which one is. I think Stephen Dubner's the writer and Levitt's the economist. He was talking about economics and potty training, and how his daughter basically could go from no bodily control to full bodily control over a bag of M&Ms. Like that was the magical incentive for her. And which I found just absolutely fascinating. The other thing I think that's interesting when you talk about kids and creativity is that what we do now for kids or to kids is different than what happened, what it used to be. Like if you were bored when you were a kid, when I was a kid, they'd go like, your mom would tell you to like, go find something to do. And being bored is actually really good for developing creativity. But kids now are so overscheduled. Yeah. And they have so many enrichment activities because we want to cram their brains with so much knowledge so that they can get into a good college. But we're sort of killing their creativity in the process.
Yeah. So Adega was basically saying there's a ton more than just serotonin.
Sure.
I understand, Dr. Adega. So no, there's lots of different things. Like there was one, I can't remember his name. I called him the Hug Doctor. But he did a lecture where he was basically talking about how having kindness towards others will actually also help increase your serotonin levels. And so his example was basically like you would go and hug people. And I was like, that's a great hypothesis. Don't touch me.
When you get a little oxytocin there too, right? You get the little cuddle hormone there.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's lots of different ways to get serotonin. I think because self-reflection of me, my serotonin usually comes when I don't have to worry about other factors in my life. Because until, like, you know, obviously if house and home are okay and my relationship's okay, my creativity through the roof, right? If those two things get affected, I'm like, I can't do anything. No, no.
All right. RC says working out boosts serotonin. That's true. Sunshine, being outside for 10 minutes boosts serotonin.
Your vitamin D, yeah, all that good stuff. Yeah, there's lots of different ways to get it. So I really wish that we could have talked about this during your stream.
Well, we still can. It's just an interest. To me, it was just fascinating. The whole. I mean, I because I have always believed that that a good chunk of creativity, not all of it, obviously, people always sort of, you know, people can grow in all sorts of different ways. But I've always thought that there's some sort of spark that is biological. So it was very interesting to see that, you know, sort of backed up by data. Like literally your brain is different.
Well, so I guess, you know, and check me if I'm going off in a wrong direction here, but when we're talking about creativity, I mean, that can take shape in like lots of different forms.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, for this channel, we usually talk about writing creativity, but, you know, you could be quilting, you could be doing scratch boards, you could be like painting rocks, like, I don't know.
Yeah, music, drawing.
Yeah.
Just solving problems. I mean, that's the thing, is creativity is sort of putting things together in a different way. And so just the ability to solve problems in a unique way. There's a story, it's like a really old kind of parable about a truck being stuck in the Eisenhower Tunnel. And the truck has, it's wedged in, it's too tall, and they can't get it out. They have all these engineers and geologists and all this, like, what are they going to do? Because the whole tunnel's stuck and now traffic's backed up 17 hours and all this. And the little girl says, just let the air out of the tires. And that's a really creative solution.
I agree with you. Sorry, I was listening. I really was. The reason I got distracted is because I saw this comment from Evan Ward. I think social media keeps distracts from creativity. No reason to be creative when you can watch others be creative on dozens of platforms. I think that the other thing with social media is it also triggers the instant gratification response. So it releases serotonin in a different way, because if you post a picture and somebody likes it, it makes you feel good about yourself. And then you're kind of like, okay, I have my dose for the day. I'm done, right? But you didn't actually do anything but take a selfie. So.
All right. I'm back to writing my purpose.
Oh, okay. I didn't mean to distract you.
No, I'm not. I just want to get, I think it's really, I'm just always really interested. Well, I'm interested in everything, but almost everything. Like, what kind of bone is it Ranger or Bones? Who's going after that thing right now?
Oh, that's Ranger. Here, you guys can enjoy the viewing experience. Also, my room is messy, so please excuse the mess. He is right there.
Oh my gosh, he's so cute.
They are both super cute. Yeah, his that back fur right here on his haunches, that's where we had to shave the fur off for his surgery.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's been a brutal day.
I forgot. We've had kind of a weird conversation. Like, we literally went from move to dog problems to different dog problems to superhero dog to serotonin. I think we've covered it. We just got to hit world peace and, the next round of stamps, and we'll be done.
Well, you never know what you're going to get on my channel for sure. There was one time we had a half-hour-long conversation about, like, the different tacos, and then, like, the taco elitists came out in us.
I'm extra.
Kissy's, like, right behind me. Here.
I'm extra excited about Taco Talk.
I love tacos. They're all my dogs, not killing each other.
Yay.
It's a nice change. Yeah, Kissy likes to do this. So Kissy's like my most low maintenance dog that beats me up the most. And I mean, like, she gets in the bed. Oh man, I've done the thing where I've moved my camera, now I can't put it back. Because in the morning when she wants me to wake up, she's not very subtle about it. She gets on the bed and then punts me in the face with her paw. you know, it's the kind of love I don't really need in my life.
Odin does like this weird thing where he goes like up and down your body, where he's like trying to get under the covers and he's headbutting you, and it's sort of sweet and entertaining until he's like ready to go outside. That's him just sort of warming you up.
That does not happen in my house. Wow, I have really messed my camera up, yo. Oh my goodness. I don't have a fix for this. This is exciting.
What happened?
Well, I had to take the camera off the stand and then put it back on my "you can't make everybody happy, you're not a taco" sign. There is a taco spreadsheet. It still exists, and I do look at it on occasion. Thank you for everybody who participated in my strange taco discussion. Let's see, tacos versus very. It is. It really is.
It is, definitely.
And I felt really bad because what happened is we were in the middle of like trying to be productive, and I was like, let's talk about tacos. And we got into about street tacos versus like ground beef tacos versus like chicken tacos. And someone was like, aren't we supposed to be writing? And I was like,
writing, eating tacos. We had taco salad last night, and I made homemade salt. I know. Were you making that face, right?
I was making a face at Aphrodite because she says she doesn't like tacos.
Oh.
It's okay. There's some people in the world that don't like happiness. I get it. It's fine.
I made homemade salsa, and we made homemade guacamole last night. It was delicious. Super delicious. Now I'm going to have roast. Yeah? What? Yeah. You and Cleaver. Look at you.
Well, you know, a little known fact about Carol Brown is I actually went to culinary school.
I knew that about you, but I think it is probably little known. You really, you're like, I think you must be immortal, is my theory, because you're obviously 27, and yet you're a teacher. You have your master's degree.
You're so sweet. You're so sweet, Lisa.
Right, in psychology, and you went to culinary school. You're a chef, and you own a publishing company. So, and what did I do this week? Well, today I played Dating Mr. Darcy with my kids. Which is wildly entertaining.
That's wonderful. What are you talking about? No, I went. So the big reason I went to culinary schools because I watched too much Food Network, and I was like, I could do that. And little known fact about the food industry, it's a really brutal field to be in, hospitality. And the main reason I'm not in it is because I happen to love my husband, and not being able to see him for 2 to 3 weeks at a time, like major deal breaker for me. So I just quit. So, but every now and then, I do like to show him that I actually remember culinary school, and I'll cook up some food. Otherwise, I make him make like gourmet nachos and stuff.
Ooh, that sounds really delicious. I really should have eaten. Yeah, that sounds really good.
So presently, I'm just putting in live stream times right now so that I can be available during those times.
You. Okay, there's some taco talk on here.
Is there? Let's take a look. Well, this is the one comment that I think we need to look at. I don't like tacos.
I love Aphrodite's avatar. I feel like that's pretty new. Is it new?
That looks new.
Just new to me. I really love it.
I do like the minimalist of it. It is very eye-catching. Let's see. Emin Ward says, I know my April mood was terrible, but hoping May will be better. I also hope that May will be better because I would like this wheel of my year to turn so I can have like some good fortune in my way. But you know, if I have to pay now for good times later, I'm okay with that too. I'm just saying.
Speaking of good fortune, we're halfway through the year. Do we have good news coming?
Like for what? Me?
For tarot, yeah. Tarot.
I don't know. I'll go grab a deck.
Yeah, I'd like to know it's good. I'm gonna put that in my planner. Carol says it's gonna be awesome. Don't give me bad news, girl.
You know what's really funny is that Dow had messaged me asking when I was going to do another one of these, and I was like, I don't know. Because if you're new here and you don't know what I'm about to do, usually like every month I would just do like an overall reading for like the coming month and be kind of like, what's going to happen? And it would either be really good or it would be terrible, and I would just tell people to hide inside their houses. So.
Done.
Yep. Caro does it all. You're so kind, JC. You really are.
Mm-hmm.
Need more JCs in my life. Can we clone you? I'm just asking for a friend.
It's me, right? I'm the friend that wants to clone JC.
You're totally a friend because you know all the names of my dogs.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a qualifier. It's like, you know the names of my dogs? You don't, then you're not my friend. Like, I literally had somebody ask me if we were friends, and I was like, I don't know, what are my dogs' names? She's like, well, I don't know. I was like, oh, we must not be friends.
Then the answer is no. I'm so sorry. Try again next time.
Like, do you know what my favorite color is? No? Okay, cool. People are funny sometimes.
It'd be hard to be wrong about my favorite color.
Because you have it, like, all over.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I know. That's what I'm saying. You'd have to, like, really not pay. Although I'm wearing green today, so I'm not, for once, I'm not wearing blue, although I still have my blue glasses on.
Did you, not that I want to steal your thunder or anything, but did you get the rights to that one foreign cover at all?
No, I did not get them. Here's where we are.
Okay, I'm ready.
Let me catch you guys up. Okay, so I have the Czech Republic edition of the book I just got rights back to, 15 Minutes of Shame, is stunning. I love it. It's a beautiful cover. It's beautiful. It's like one of my favorite covers ever. And my favorite cover ever, also by the same artist. So I thought, ooh, I've gotten the rights back, and I just happen to know of an artist who did an amazing cover for this book in the Czech Republic. So I should see if I can buy the rights for the US or English edition. And normally artists are cool with that because they've already done the work. And so I reached out to her, like the publisher gave me her email. I reached out on email, didn't hear back. And I thought, well, maybe she doesn't speak English, which is reasonable because she lived in the Czech Republic. So then I Google translated. I apologize profusely, but I said, okay, I'm sending this because maybe she just thought it was like that I was saying, hi, I'm the Prince of Nigeria. Please wire me $400. So I thought I'll just send her a message in Google Translate Czech. And I didn't get anything like that. And then I reached out on Instagram. And then I found a different website for her, and she's living in Paris, and it turns out she speaks English. And I've contacted her, but I haven't heard anything back. And so my next step, tell me this is a little stalkery. I just want to give her money. That's it. My next step is that I'm going to call her in Paris because she has a number on her website, a phone number.
It's not stalky. It's not stalkery if you put it out there for everybody to find it.
And it's it's not like her personal, like only my friend, like it's her business website. So I haven't gotten them yet, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Mm-hmm. But also, I can't bear the thought of a plan B. I just can't because I love this cover so much. I have to have it. So we'll see.
You're pretty good at manifesting things that you want, so just time and patience.
Yes. That's it. I just figure if I keep messaging her until she tells me, please stop stalking me, lady. I'm just going to assume she's got a lot going on right now and she needs a little reminder or a little outreach.
About to move my camera again. I don't want to.
Oh, no. It's so beautiful, though, this cover.
You showed me a picture of it. It is super pretty. It really is.
It is.
Yeah. So
and it's made like I hated the US cover for this book. Oh my god, I could totally show you guys. Hold on. Wait.
Yeah. You saw it here first on my channel.
Okay.
All right. Hold on. I'm gonna Ranger, give me that.
I know you guys are like, well, you can show us now, but we have to wait for Caro. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Here's the US cover that I dislike.
Right.
Get ready. Here's the Czech cover, which I absolutely love. I'm not really doing it justice because the light in here is a little tad pink, but it's beautiful and I love it. So fingers crossed. that we get the cover. Okay. That's one of
Pretty
my
confident you
goals
will.
for May.
You should write that down. What are you going to do to make that goal happen? Because when you make goals, you have to make supporting steps for it, right?
I do. I'm going to call the designer in Paris and tell her that I love her work, which I've already told. I mean, I have to say, I've been pretty good. I reached out on Instagram. I messaged her. I translated my English ramblings into Czech ramblings, sort of via Google Translate. I've done some stuff, but I'm going to continue pursuing it. Thank you, JC.
JC's good people.
She is good people. So yeah, I have to have it.
All right, you want your prediction then?
I do. No, is it bad? No,
I haven't even
Okay.
I haven't even flipped the cards over. Okay.
Okay, we're ready.
Okay, so
I need to know how to plan for the month. So
you know, if you have to plan your month for your tarot, we should probably have like an in-depth conversation after this. So don't forget, this is all for entertainment purposes only, so you can't come at me later. All right, so
right. Do not make any investments tonight after this.
Yeah, please don't. Okay, so the first card, which is going to be this first one that we flip over, is Current Self. That is the Magician. That is a good card. That means that you are in the process of making things manifest before you. Things that you want to happen are happening. Yeah, I was about to say, this might be a reading for you, Lisa.
No, it's for all of us. We're all manifesting right now. We're making it happen.
Yes.
Because we're planning. Yes.
Hello, Michael. It's good to see you.
Michael.
So I'm a pretty big fan of this card. This is like the ultimate productivity card. So maybe a lot of us are taking a look at the coming year and going like, maybe I should get my act together. Like, I don't know, me. Small steps. Now the next card is going to be the theme of the month. So that is going to be the Knight of Cups. So for those of you who know anything about me and tarot, I actually am not a fan of the Cup suite because that's all about your feelings and like romanticism and all this other stuff. I usually think of the Knight as like the guy, like he's like Fabio on the cover. You know what I'm talking about now?
Oh, goodness.
But instead of being romantic with somebody else, this person's romantic with themselves, like spend too much time looking in the mirror and stuff like that. So the theme of the month may be a little bit of self-indulgence, maybe a little bit of catering to self. And while normally I would say this is not a great card, I think after the last year and a half, this might not be a bad time to love yourself. I would.
It's part of that manifesting, right? Because it's like you have to put your mask on the airplane before you help other people. We all have to take care of ourselves before we can.
Wonderful, positive way to say it. Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome. That's why I'm here.
And there's nothing wrong with that. The one thing I will say about knights, though, is that they tend to be on horses, and horses are about moving fast-paced. And when they're inverse, it means moving out of control. So if you're lost in your cups and you are going out of control, that's usually called blackouting at the bar. So just be careful about how much you decide to indulge when you do that. So the third card is the key goal for the month, and that has to do with the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles I usually refer to as the Ultra Mom card. She is the person that makes the cookies for when your friends come over, or she is the mom of your friend's house that you go to, and she's already got the cookies. Not only does she know your name, but she knows your mom's name, and she knows what your favorite food is. Like, this is actually usually what I like to call Lisa, because Lisa is the ultimate mom figure.
That's true. Oh, okay, thank you.
You're welcome. But ultimate harm and health card right here. It's just basically about making sure that everything is in order, and it's about focusing on yourself and your immediate environment versus taking care of others. So I usually find that to be a really good card. So obstacles to overcome for this coming month is that's kind of a fun one. So this is actually the happy life card. So because if you take a look, it's got all 10 cups. Again, the feelings I don't really care about. It's got a happy couple, and it's got all this other stuff. So I think this is about settling for what you have Like you could push forward, but you've made your goal and you're kind of like, okay, I'm done. But what you could do is you could actually push forward more. And I don't mean it like in a toxic productivity way. It's really like the thing I keep thinking of is you're settling. You've decided to be happy here versus what you could keep pushing forward for. So that is the obstacle. So do you want to settle? Do you want to collect your coins and go cash out? Or do you want to take that extra gamble? I don't know. That's really up to you. I wish you best of luck. So this fifth card has to do with major accomplishment, and this is the Knight of Swords. I do love my swords suite in this deck because the swords are the intellectual ones. It's very Game of Thrones in the sword suit. It's I will cut you, or we will fight to the death kind of stuff, or it's the master chess pieces and all this other stuff. The thing that makes the Knight of Swords pretty brutal, in my opinion, is that they were, if I can't get through you, I'll cut through you kind of thing. And if you take a look, he's already charging through. He's going to go get stuff done. So this is definitely we're getting things done. So if you decide that you don't want to settle for whatever you have, you definitely have the energy to spare to push forward through to your next venture. So just to put that in perspective, because I am surrounded by a bunch of writers, that would be if you went and finished your manuscript and instead of saying, okay, I'll take a break after this, maybe you could start plotting your next book kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all see how Lisa conned me into doing a tarot reading? I have definitely seen this. I'm going to remember this. So the next one is going to be the What to Avoid card. So this is going to be our sixth card right here. I'm making sure you guys can see it. This is what happens when I don't have a stand. Wheel of Fortune. So inverse Wheel of Fortune basically is when you don't do so well at the lottery. So earlier I was telling you if you're going to settle or cash out. So I guess it's basically understanding what your risks are when you're about to cash out, or if you're going to keep going with whatever game that you're playing. I really have a casino feel with this month. I really hope it doesn't turn out that way. Just have enough of self-awareness that if you lose a couple of times to go ahead and cash out. That's the thing. I'm going to leave with that card. The next one, this card right here, is What to Embrace, and that is the Fool. No, not the Fool. The Hangman. So the thing with this is that this is a card where either means that you're seeing a new perspective, or you've decided to go ahead and just be headstrong in the way that you see things. And you also make a big deal out of it too. It's kind of like not a woe is me card. It's almost like a reverse martyr card in a way. I've sacrificed myself for you. And there's the people that do it selflessly, and then there's the people that do it for attention. I've decided to put myself on this cross for you to cry about versus I did it so that way you could be saved later kind of discussion. So again, when we're talking about what to embrace, it's about, and again, this goes back to the whole casino thing, maybe giving your winnings to somebody else, or maybe giving them a chip, passing on the good buck, all the other stuff, pay it forward, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. But the thing that's hard to do with the reverse hangman is that you don't have enough momentary self-reflection to know when that moment is. So, for example, Lisa over here probably has a different threshold than I do over here about when to pass the buck on. So you need to know where that threshold is for you, because you could risk basically giving more of yourself than what you have, and then ends up like mentally and emotionally harming you kind of thing. So there you go. Let's see. Number 8 is where to find support. So for those of you who don't listen to everything I just said, what's going to happen is you will have burnout. So the 4 of Swords, when it's upright, usually means that you are in a period of rest, reflection, and you're taking into account things that you need to use moving forward, where the inverse basically means that you burned from both ends too far, and now you really are in the process of burnout. You can't do anything else because, that lack of serotonin that we were talking about that kills your creativity, that's where you are right now. So there you go. So
self-care.
Self-care. Always self-care. Absolutely. And then this last card right here, which is the 9th card, is advice and encouragement, which leads back to the Knight of Cups is the King of Cups. There's a picture of this guy that I usually like more. And what I like more about that picture versus the card that you're seeing right now is that the King of Cups in that one is sitting somewhere outside of a hearth, and it looks like he's talking to somebody while he's drinking whatever it is that he's decided to drink. He's homely, he's welcoming, and you can tell he's doing active listening, either from his body language or his facial expression. So the advice or encouragement is to take the time to actually listen and see what's going on around you versus being self-absorbed, like we talked about earlier. and basically kind of get a feel for the room versus just charging off and, you know, getting hay crazy with what you think you need to be doing. So I don't know if that made sense to any of you, but we'll go ahead and go with it.
I feel like we're moving in a positive direction here.
It definitely seems like a sense of self-awareness, both mentally and emotionally, will probably take everybody far this month. So there you go.
There you go. It's exciting. And just for the record, it did say continue stalking the cover artist, right?
Yeah, I totally saw that in the Knight of Swords there. So please continue.
Okay, good. All right, just double checking on that. Thank you so much, Caro. That was so awesome.
You're welcome.
Where's my darn husband?
Been waiting patiently. I don't know. Let's find out, Aphrodite.
Let's do.
It's supposed to be a planning thing, not a tarot thing. But that's fine.
Well, she's planning her wedding, and she's going to need the husband to do that, right?
I bet she already got that. She already got that dress. She got the music planned out.
Is this the future husband, or are we actually looking for a missing husband? I'm thinking it's future. Yeah. All right. I'm going to have to raise up because there we go. All right.
So the card I pulled for you, Aphrodite, is the reverse 7 of Cups, and you are very well acquainted with tarot, so you know what that means. So I'm not even going to dive into that. I love you. Bye. Let's see, JC, when are you going to start doing videos again, and when will we be getting a full tour of the house and office? Absolutely great question. Very tricky for me to answer because, one, my house is not perfect. Not really so much that. Part of the issue that I have with trying to film in the house at this point is that Mr. Brown actually works at home with me, and I have to make sure for client sensitivity reasons that nothing can get heard on the camera, if that makes any sense. So if I'm walking down the hallway and you happen to hear something in the background, he can get in trouble for that. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do a house tour on the weekend and show you guys around this place. I do really like this house a lot. It is probably, out of the whole move debacle, this is the best thing that came of it. So
well, that's awesome.
Yeah. So we are waiting on more drunk book reviews. You know, I thought about picking up on that, and I decided against it because one of those things is that when, you know, enough other people start doing it, I'm kind of like, market's a little saturated right now. I'm okay. I'll move on to something else. Because that's what you do here. You got to find the next fun thing that everybody wants to emulate. So, all right. So we talked about, I have a question because this is the Planner-o-rama, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you make your plans, Lisa, do you plan the big objective and then break it down into weekly and daily, or do you just kind of wing it as you go?
No, I plan the big objective and then I break it down into smaller, manageable, bite-sized chunks. So some things are weekly. I have several goals that in order to get to the big thing that I want to get to at the end of the year, I need to do an action every day or 4 or 5 times a week. And so, yeah, I have always been like a, you know, how to eat an elephant kind of person.
One bite at a time.
Yes. And you?
I usually do the big and break it down in the small, but I think my big issue is I didn't know what I wanted my big objectives to be, which really sucks because we've actually moved into a new quarter. I haven't made any quarter goals.
Ooh, that is so surprising because that is not, like, that's just really not you. You generally know where you're going.
That's very anti-Caro. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? I will say there is something to just letting it be for a little while because it's possible the reason you have not yet made those goals is because you're not quite sure the direction you're going in. And that you, even though people like you and like me are like, we can just plan our way out of every situation, right? Or into any situation. You could just make it happen through sheer force of will. Sometimes we need to pause and take a breath and figure out what we actually want our next step to be, which is really hard. It's really hard for me to just be still and figure out where I want to go next because I'm always going on the next thing.
Yeah, I think for me, I'll probably start doing the quarterly goals again when I actually get like stable employment, because even though I own Mad Raptor Productions, that's not really making me any money right now. That actually is, that's taking my funds and basically making sure my editors, my cover artists, and all those fun, wonderful people that support me are getting paid. But until books start coming out, that doesn't generate me anything. And with the way that I actually made my company, I split my profits halfway on book sales with my authors because I want to take care of them, but I still have to basically keep the lights on. So likelihood of me seeing any return for that is at least 5 years. So until those 5 years come and I have enough credibility with my readership and everything else like that, I still have to keep my lights on.
Right.
And I personally think it's unfair to put that weight on solely Mr. Brad's shoulders. So
it's a lot of pressure for sure.
Yeah. So fun times, fun things that people don't get to know about little tiny publishing companies.
Right. So are you going to work on your quarterly goal? Like, do you know yet what you want to accomplish for the next quarter, or are you still working on figuring that part out?
I think the two main goals that I have for at least for the quarter, at this point, as I have, I want to get employment. That's like the big one. Once that gets that big checkbox right there. And the other one is that I actually want to work on this work in progress. It started last week. And I don't know what the working title is going to be. I think I'll probably just call it Predator for now until I find a better name for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to finish the fast draft for that probably by the end of this quarter. Because initially when I started thinking about it, I thought it would be like a short story. And then I was like, no, this is going to be a novel. Because you and me being psych majors know that when you start diving into like somebody's like psychology and their immediate environment, how it affects everything, like that takes like 10 pages. And until like an editor comes and tells me to cut it out, I'm just going to like run rampant with that.
That seems like a good plan.
It seems great. Just let the words flow.
Just let the words flow. Just let them out. Yeah. Yes. I am excited because I'm finally going to finish this book. I'm on really good pace. Even though I've had to constantly push back deadline, like I'm now on pace where, okay, I now know when I'm going to finish this book and I'm writing enough every week in order to make it happen on the deadline, self-imposed deadline. And so I am very, very happy about that. But I'm also feeling guilty because, like I said, I'm not sure about whether I want to indie publish this or sell it to a publisher. My agent obviously is waiting for it, thinking, of course, I'm going to sell it to a publisher. Why wouldn't I? But I'm not sure.
Well, what's the big apprehension with that?
Well, on one hand, I don't know. On one hand, I've been a traditionally published author for a long time, and I've never had a book go that I've done indie. I never had a novel that I've done independently, and so I mean, I did like a couple little dating books, like for fun, but that was like a strategic thing because I wanted to write a very specific kind of book, and I didn't think there would be a big enough audience to make it big.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it feels like a lot of work on one hand, and on the other hand, I'm like on fire about all the possibilities and the control over what the cover look, right? I don't want to be saddled with another cover I hate.
I feel that. No, yeah, because like on my brag wall over here, I made all of these covers.
Right.
With the exception of One Bed, who the publisher in Britain made. But I mean, that still is like the most interesting anthology I've been in because like my little story, like I
love that story.
Like, well, because it's like sex, hold hands, sex. I'm like the one story that's like hold hands. Well, I guess my question for you, Lisa, is like, do you think that you would have fun self-publishing? Because that's honestly the bigger question.
Yeah, I think that I probably would. And okay, and let's be honest here. Mm-hmm. When you publish with a traditional publisher, you're still doing 99% of the marketing work. So I go, wow, that's a lot of money that I'm giving to my publisher for cover design, like things that end a couple months after the book comes out. And why wouldn't I do this? And the other thing is like to have that. I mean, when I think about how long I've waited to get the rights back for the 2 books that I just got the rights back for, despite the fact that like from where I was sitting, I should have gotten them back several years ago, and they just will sit on them forever and ever and ever and ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I like the idea of doing this. Plus, I'm kind of a brave person. I'm not generally afraid to try anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I go, well, if it doesn't work, whatever.
I think it could be a fun learning experience for you, because you were actually already researching how to do this last year too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been really thinking about it for a while. I mean, it's not anything that I was going to just go into. Well, and then the other thing that happened, so usually I would feel kind of beholden to my editor, but my editor left St. Martin's, and he is not just out of St. Martin's, but out of publishing. He's like gone back into film production. Mm-hmm. And so I don't feel like I don't know the new person at St. I mean, I have like a name, but I don't know who would be my new editor at St. Martin's. It's whoever took over Brandon's list. And so I don't feel beholden that way. I do have to give St. Martin's first look, but I don't think that, because the last book I did ended my contract. So I have to give them first look on my next book, but I don't think I have to do that if I'm publishing independently. Now, that said, I would be happy to go back to St. Martin's. I really had a very good experience there. Mm-hmm. But I don't know what it would be like. This is the thing. It's like how people root for like football teams, but mm-hmm. basically the players change. It's only the uniforms that stay the same. And publishing is basically the same way. Like your mm-hmm. imprint stays the same, but your editor changes, your publicist changes. And so I don't know if I want to stay for a logo. I'm not sure.
Sure you'll make up your mind pretty soon.
I will. I'm really leaning heavily towards doing it indie, but I'm just not sure. Okay. Yeah. Ooh, good question.
So do you make 2 sets of goals or just one overall? For example, do you have goals for Caro, and do you have another set for Matter After? I have 2 sets of goals. Mostly because my personal goals they're personal. They could be fitness related. They could be, author related and stuff like that. And so I do try to categorize my goals into where they belong. So Mad Raptor obviously has a different set of goals. And the big reason I would encourage that if you have a business and people that work for you is because you are actually the word that Lisa likes to use is beholden. I am beholden to the other people that are in, this system. So, for example, if I know it takes me a month to get something done, that's cool. It takes me a month. But then how long does it take team member A to get something long? And how long does it take team member B? Basically, the more fingers that you have in that pie kind of alters that process a little bit. So on one hand, the stuff that I have total autonomy over, that's my set of goals. And then things that involve other people, that is definitely its own set. So that is how I do that. So let's see, Aphrodite says that was a good question. And then, or just one oversetting. I did actually try to do an oversetting one. And the big reason I kind of moved away from that and into categorization is I got really overwhelmed. Because in the first house, or at least in the first house you guys saw me, and I had that giant cork board that I would work on, and having everything up on that board, like at one point I would literally just like not look at it. Because it was just a bunch of stuff I wasn't doing. Let's see. And then Aphrodite says, I split my business and my personal goals, even if they happen to tantrum. Yep. Let's see. Jennifer is saying, Lisa, it takes a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun knowing that you have control over your work. Yep.
Yeah. Well, and you make more money. I mean, I should say that you make a greater percentage of your book sales, which means that you can have more control of the pricing and still come out okay. So, yeah.
Let's see. And then RC's like, whatever time it takes you, multiply me by 6. I just started using a planner. It's okay. It's fine. Let's see. And Inman Ward says seed goals, sapling goals, tree goals. Yeah, no, because that is true. Because this year is supposed to be like my year of the acorn, where I was supposed to like get my stuff ready for next year, and I haven't done that. But that doesn't mean I can't get it done now.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean that. Well, and the thing is, you were not like in a great space mentally. You know, when you're worried about like, where is my stuff and when will it arrive? And you don't have a clear answer to that. It's hard to be creative, because in order to be creative, you have to kind of like just open your mind and let stuff come. And if you are ruminating about something that you're really worried about and stressed, look, you're smiling. When you're worried or stressed about something and it's like, yeah.
This is why I was smiling. I'm sorry.
Book planner, no sauce, the doctor lies.
Yeah, no, I guess that goes back to that whole like Queen of Pentacles card. You know, like your house has to be in order and you have to be comfortable. Feel I am definitely an environment person. I know some individuals can work in a chaotic environment, but like my home base, my house needs to be in order. So
yeah, I have the same issue. And it's been harder this year, right? Because like there's a lot more you know, everybody's home, and so you have like a lot more kind of clutter and just people around. Yeah, it's challenging.
Yeah, but I don't know if I told you, Lisa, but I actually did start writing again this week, finally.
Yay! Oh, I'm so glad.
Yeah, so we'll see how long that pony will keep running.
You can do it. Well, and I think too that once you get out of the habit, it's super hard to get back into it. But then once you're back into the habit, it's easy to stay in the habit. So I'm always paranoid now anytime I have like a week or a couple days off where I'm sort of wobbling, because it was so hard for me to get back into the everyday or most everyday habit. But now I feel like I've been doing it long enough this year where it's stuck. And so.
Weren't you doing this thing during Camp Nano where you would write a little bit and then increase it by every day until the end?
Yeah, every day. Well, and the other thing too is that I really struggled in the beginning to get a daily goal every day, but then I would write a ton by the end of the week because I would have, you know, I'd be in a roll. And so what I decided to do instead of daily goals was a weekly goal, which I was not having a hard time meeting. And so every week I just boosted up by another couple 100, 200, 300 words. And so I'm gradually, I mean, I used to write 3,000 or 4,000 a day, every single day, no problem at all. And it wasn't that much. It was a couple hours, and I go to lunch with my friends. I had like a whole life. And now it's a lot. Let's try like one stray hair. You know how that is. Now it's a lot. It's more of a struggle. I spend a lot more time to like. I mean, there were days when I got back into this where I would spend like 3 hours and get like 700 words, and I used to do that in 20 minutes.
Yeah, no, that's a definitely a big contrast between me from last year and me now, because I think I was on Samara's stream and I actually wrote 1,700 words, and
that's
then that was the first 1,700 words of the year.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just keep like being shocked that I'm not. So part of it is that my laptop has I have a Mac. I need to update the software, but when I update it, I'm going to lose my functionality for Word and a couple of other programs that I like, and I'm mostly just mad that that's going to happen, and so I have not updated it. And so you know how like Apple will do these things where it's not terrible, but it's just enough to irritate you, so you'll update your system. And one of them is that I have like, every time I hit S, I get like SS or SSS. So it makes my typing slower. You'd think that would be enough. But what did I do? Start dictating. That was a lot faster.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that with my fiction books, because talking like one of my characters feels really unnatural. But like when I did Caro's Tarot, I would be like, oh, let's like, I literally pull out a card. I'd be like, this card means blah blah blah, and then this situation, like, yeah, it's a little different. Let's see. I didn't realize that was your first 1,700 words of the year. It totally was.
Aw, that's so awesome.
You had my first words, Tamara. Insert dirty joke here if Dana was here. Let's see, MM Word. I am on track for the hashtag Hold My Coffee 2021 goals, but my mind will not accept it. How do you convince yourself that you aren't falling behind with imposter syndrome and the loudest voice in your head? All right, well, psychologists Kara, would tell you that in order for you to be your very best self, you have to have a lot of things that are in place. You have to have your environment in place. You have to have we talked earlier about serotonin, right? And serotonin comes either from exercise, comes from family involvement, it comes from sense of well-being. And you can't expect yourself to be the very best that you can be when you have one scale that's higher than the other. And then even if you are trying, like, actually, you know what, Lisa, you can word that a lot better than I can right now.
I don't know if I could. I don't know if I would say that. It is hard when you feel like areas of your life are out of balance, right? Mm-hmm. And this is certainly not last year for sure, but there's still lots of things that are out of balance. And I think for me, the thing that got me back on the horse was this idea, like, basically that things are just going to be like this for a while, that it's not, because all last year I kept like pushing up against this, like, well, I can't write because I can't go to the beach every day and it messes up my schedule and da. And a year went by and I hardly wrote anything. And so this year I came at it like, okay, well, I may be stuck in my house for another 17 years. I need to figure out a way to make this work. And so that when you're not falling behind or failing, just give yourself more of a break this year, because the more pressure you put on yourself that way, the more you'll feel like you're falling behind, and that reinforces that imposter syndrome. Second, you have to realize every author goes through that. Every writer goes through that. Every creative person, I think, goes through that. And then you start feeling like, if I can't write anymore, who am I? And like, oh, everybody else is going to find out I'm a big faker and I don't know what I'm doing after all. And everybody goes, like, we all go through that. We all go through that. But you're putting words down. Oh yeah, go. Sorry.
I was gonna say, like, I think the most interesting imposter syndrome that I got to observe from a very far distance was actually Stephen King, because he had imposter syndrome to the point where he went and made a different pen name to see if people would still like his work if his name wasn't attached to it.
Yeah. So I think the way to get over imposter syndrome is to just do it. Right? Instead of thinking like, I can't do it until I feel like a real writer. Just know, like, the fact that you feel like that sometimes is proof that you're a writer, because we all feel that. It's like one thing that we all have in common. We all have different processes. We all have different approaches. It takes some of us 15 years to write a book and some of us a month and a half. But the one thing that we all have in common, besides the need and ability to put words on a page, is that at some time in our lives, sometime in our careers, we all feel like, I have no idea what the crap I'm doing. And people are going to find out. So congratulations, you are a writer, and now get back to work.
Yeah. One thing I do want to circle back on that, though, is that I can't remember, he writes the Oatmeal comics. I can't remember his name.
I don't know.
But he wrote this one comic where he talked about how, like, there was like this grumpy negative voice over your head, and how it was a constant battle between you and the negative voice. That's kind of what imposter syndrome is. And what is unfortunate about imposter syndrome is that we're really kind of stealing from ourselves in that case.
Right.
Yeah, because the first thing we'll do is we'll compare ourselves to somebody else. Be like, well, so-and-so wrote like 5,000 words. Why couldn't I write 5,000 words? But that doesn't really matter, because two very different people, two very different walks of life, two very different situations.
Right.
So you can't really ask why you can't write like somebody else, because you're not that person.
Right.
So we always steal from ourselves that way, and we never give ourselves the benefit of the doubt, because I think the person that sometimes has the most expectations on ourselves is well, it's ourselves, and then it's whoever our parental figure is. And I say parental figure because it's not always the parent unit. It's always somebody who you look up to. Yeah.
Right. Well, that's it, right? You sort of hear that voice of like the most negative person in your life. And yet, if you think about, what would you say to someone who was in your same position, who was 15 years younger than you are, and they said, I feel like this, I have this, like, I feel like I'm not good enough for this, I can't do it, I worry about it, I want to do it, but I can't do it. You would say to them something much kinder than you are saying to yourself. So say that to yourself instead.
Yeah, in my early psych program, they talked about the different personas that we have, not only in situations, but in social circles. So, for example, one of the earlier examples that we used was write what you would say about yourself, write what your parents would say about you, write what your siblings would say about you, even if you don't have any, and then write what your friends would say about you. And so if you go and you write all that down and you analyze it, that's literally how you perform at each of those junctures, in terms of like closeness to who you are and like how you decide to like actually be around those people.
Mm-hmm. Well, and just this idea, and no, don't just like pick your most supportive, wonderful friend.
Yes.
The one that makes you feel better. Pick that friend.
Pick the supportive friend, but don't pick like the one that blows smoke up your ass.
No, not her. No, the one who tells it to you straight, but is still supportive and believes that you can do this. I believe you can do this. You can do this.
I will write words. That's my goal for this year. Absolutely. I am not falling behind. I have 6 out of 10 books in 12 months on Amazon and 1 Vella, 1 on Inkel. I'm ahead in every aspect of my life, but after the lag year, I'm having panic attacks about falling behind. Give yourself some kindness, Ward.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's great. That's okay. So that's a huge accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if you fall behind? What happens?
What's the consequence? The world doesn't explode. I promise the world will not explode.
No.
Nobody will say anything mean about you. I mean, can we talk about this? She has 6 books out. I have 1 book out.
6 books in 12 months. Holy crap. You're my new hero.
Yeah. I've got 1 book out and it took me 2 years to do. So I think you are now I have imposter syndrome. Why can't I be like him in Word?
Well, I'm impressed that that's an insane number of books. Like that's really amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Amazing. So what does happen? Like what is it that like when you're having the panic attack about falling behind and you're imagining worst case scenario, like what does the death spiral look like there?
Yep. And while you answer that question, Aphrodite, I know that's not what everybody would say because I know you and Tamara talk and know what Tamara says about you. So it's all positive. So
when I was a kid, my mom would always say, don't say weird, say interesting. And so now anytime anyone says interesting, I always think weird. But every time anyone says weird, I think interesting. I think you are very interesting, but I don't think you're weird.
Aphrodite.
You know what? Weird is awesome.
It is very cool these days. JC, I salute you for asking your parental unit what they think of your work because I don't tell my dad about anything that I make.
Made a mistake of asking my mother what she thought of some of the products I'm putting together, and I knew better, but I asked anyway. I feel very fortunate that my mom is like the most supportive person on the planet.
I know that if I asked my dad, he'd give me an honest opinion, but I really don't want to talk to my dad about my erotica stuff. I need to find a different parental unit to ask about. So.
Well, the good news is you don't have to.
Look at this. See? Called it.
See?
Called it. Oh, Michael's giving me some wisdom here. Let's see. A person is like a flower. You can try your best every day, but if you can't move from a room with the cinder block walls and artificial lighting to a valley in the mountains, you really want to be your best. You just can't try. You have to actually change your environment. If you do, positive change will happen by itself, though you will do your best every day. So look at Michael.
That's excellent advice. I know, right? Deep, man.
This does not surprise me. So we have 7 minutes left, and I think
I got 1 page done.
I didn't get jack done. So my planning session for today was me thinking about my goals. I thought about them, and I did a really good job.
That's good.
Oh, no, wait. I put your streams down in my planner, and I put Tamara's streams down in my planner. And Tamara, because I wrote it in pen, we have to do it.
Right. I do have my streams down, and I now have Tamara's stream down for May. I'm glad I hadn't already written it in. I'm glad that I hadn't already written it in pen because That's probably why I forgot. You know why? I got all the way. I had it down for January and February, but I did not have it for March, which was the first one I missed. And then, like a fool, I didn't write it down again. I'll be ready this time.
We're here. We're ready for this. We got this. All right.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, now we have 6 minutes left. Let's go ahead and start our outros now, and maybe we'll end on time. Yes.
Well, I think that would be. I've had like such a very nice, like I've really enjoyed this conversation so much, and we have covered a wide range of topics tonight, which has been very nice. I've done a little planning. I've done a little drinking, but I'm also looking forward to the fact that I have some taco stuff in my refrigerator, and that's what I'm having for dinner with homemade.
You
salsa.
have tacos?
I said I had taco salad last night and I didn't eat. And when you messaged me like 14 minutes before we were supposed to start, and I was like, oh crap, I need to brush my hair. I ran through the house telling everybody, you're foraging for yourselves for dinner tonight. Mom of the year. Everybody's on their own for dinner, and what I'm dreaming of is leftover tacos. So that's what's happening. Perfect.
All right. Tacos are happening. All right. Don't let me keep you from your tacos. Go ahead and start your outro, and then I'll do mine, and I'll set you free, ma'am.
Oh, well, fantastic. So, so hi, everybody. Thanks for being here tonight. I'm Lisa Daly. I'm a traditionally published, but possibly soon to be indie published author. And over on my channel, we talk about how to write a book you're super proud of and get it published. And every Wednesday, you can see Caro. I'm pointing the wrong way. You can see Caro on our regular Wednesday writing sprint stream. But you guys all know because most of you are there anyway. So. Yay. Love you. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for hosting, Caro.
You are super welcome, and thanks for being 3 months patient with me to host the next one. Oh my goodness. Okay, so my name is Kara Brown. I'm an urban fantasy author. I'm the owner of Matter After Productions. I came here to think about planning, and I totally thought about planning. I even thought about 2 goals. Man, I'm on it today, so go me. I'm actually going to go and make sure I get them all written down on my weekly stuff, so that way I can check off those nice little check boxes, get my tiny serotonin. What is this? She's dabbing.
Oh, and also you don't want to miss the writers workshop, which is going to be happening on Tamara's channel
at 2 p.m. Eastern.
No, 9 p.m. 9 p.m.
No, look.
Oh, you did tell me the wrong time. Okay, see? But you know what? I wrote it in pencil because it was a change. Like, it's in my calendar. If I showed up 7 hours late, this time it wouldn't be my fault. But I'm going to change it right now.
Yeah, she actually told me off stage that was wrong time. And I was like, okay, so when I get to the end, I'll mention it. But Tamara's wonderful, and she's on top of these things. So
love you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So
okay, 2 p.m. I wondered why she changed it to 9. I
was like, that's late at night. Like, that's my wine drinking time, Tamara.
Well, and then I thought, like, it's a good thing we switched to Sunday nights for the Boozy Planner-o-rama because we'd have a little
overlap. Yeah. And I don't think we want to talk about horrible craft books while I'm inebriated either, because I'll pull out like a book and be like, it would trash. Okay. All right, I'm going to end off now. Okay, so thank you guys so much for coming and spending time with me. I really do appreciate it. My name is Kara Brown. I'm an urban fantasy author. I'm the owner of Matter After Productions. I got some stuff done. I wouldn't have gotten it done without you guys here, and my camera doesn't know what to do, so I'm going to go ahead and end this stream now before something foolish happens. So you all have a good day. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for being here.
Click button.